Welcome everybody to the DC New 52 review. I want to thank you for tuning into this episode. I am your host, Pauly DC, and let's get into another one of these things. Today, I will discuss Nightwing Vol.2. It was titled Night of the Owls, and it was written by Kyle Higgins with art by Eddy Barrows, and issues 8 to 12 plus number 0 were released between June and November of 2012. Much of the plot from Volume 1 revolved around Dick Grayson's past in Haly's Circus, which stays prevalent throughout this Volume 2, with Nightwing continuing his solo adventures among Gotham City, meeting brand new enemies and a few familiar ones. I already have issues 8 and 9 looked after in the Night of the Owls crossover vid due to Nightwing being heavily involved in the Court of the Owls saga, so for these first two issues I will be bullet pointing things I didn't mention or include in that big tie-in review. For issue number 8, one thing is seen briefly which will become much more important later on, and it is two gangbangers called the Strayhorn Brothers, who were beaten to death by one of Nightwing's Eskrima sticks, and he's already looking into it. Either than that, he just acquires some new scars here. Issue number 9 saw Nightwing defeating his Talon great-grandfather William Cobb, which also included him saving Mayor Eddy and Deputy Mayor Kavanaugh, which has some implications going forward. I also liked how William was in love with Amelia Crown, who was a redhead like Barbara Gordon and Araya Vestry, two ladies that Dick was in love with. Guess it's a Grayson thing. That actually brings me along to answering the question of how did our main character's family surname go from Cobb to Grayson? Well, after becoming a Talon, William stole his infant son from the Crowns, leaving him in the care of Haly's Circus, and to call the boy the Grey Sun, due to remembering a reference that Burton Crown made to him about the white and black pieces on a chessboard. And P.S. it would be really cool to see William flip sides and work with great-grandson Richard. Issue number 10 opens on yet another awesome shot of Gotham, with us zooming into the historic district of the city named Old Gotham, which is where the former Strayhorn Brothers' residence is, and Nightwing is checking out. The one clue he gets from here regards the Greek letters Alpha and Omega turned into one symbol, and the brothers that seem to have had the logo branded on them. It also seems that someone tipped off the cops because SWAT teams come busting in, guns ablazing, so Nightwing has to leave in a hurry while taking a call from longtime Bat Family ally and tech genius Lucius Fox. Their chat regards financial details surrounding Dick wanting to keep Haly's Circus in Gotham for a business proposition, but the only bank willing to bite for him happens to be run by Tony Zuko's daughter Sonia, aka the daughter of the man who killed his parents. Much more to come on that in a minute, but for now, quickly we meet original creation Detective Travis Nye of the GCPD, who speaks with Police Commissioner Jim Gordon, and this guy has an interesting story. Allegedly, he tried to frame Batman by putting post-mortem wounds on a corpse with a batarang, but this is the first time we're ever hearing of it. There's also a glimpse of Deputy Mayor Kavanaugh talking to Jim, and he wants to now help the Bat allies because Nightwing saved his life, and he doesn't care that Mayor Eddy hates Batman. I smell a coup coming. The next day, Dick meets Sonia Zuko, now with the last name Branch, and she was created months before the New 52 in June 2011's Detective Comics number 876 by Scott Snyder and Mark Simpson. Not only a bank owner, but an MIB agent as well, it seems. She's asked by Grayson if she could provide some monetary backing into revitalizing Gotham's version of Coney Island called Amusement Mile, with Haly's Circus as the centerpiece since he now currently owns the place. Going back to Nightwing number 2. And naturally, the folks working for him now are very on the fence about this, as said by Jimmy the Clown. Later that night, Nightwing finds the tattoo shop the Strayhorns got their Greek letter brands. However, 2 minutes into a chat with owner Zeke, the place gets shot up by a trio of armored goons donning the Alpha Omega logo. Nightwing handles them fairly easy and finds the weaker one among the three getting the info that he needs with a bit of extra motivation. The new group of villains is called the Republic of Tomorrow, and due to consisting of mostly young adults, their opening glimpse by Nightwing when found in a clock tower totally reminded me of the Foot Clan from the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. All they need is a shredder. Oh, there he is, and he calls himself Paragon, immediately spotting Nightwing's spine on them and instantly attacking him with very overpowered plasma energy weapons. Issue number 11 picks up right from the previous one, with Nightwing fighting through a bunch of the Republic of Tomorrow members until Paragon steps in and disarms him of his electrified Eskrima sticks. This forces Nightwing into cover, but with the area being torn apart by bullets, his counter move is to fire a sonar device onto the clock face of the tower, which disorients all of his attackers except for Paragon, who destroys a chunk of the building, sending it down toward innocent people on the street. Nightwing is quick to act by bungeeing outside and hitting the huge piece of debris with explosives, thus turning it into dust before landing. Wouldn't that just create a lot of shrapnel though? Yeah, I don't know and I don't care. That distraction allowed the ROT to escape, and later on a crew of them is ready to leave the group, so what does Paragon do? Massacres them with his plasma weapons with zero remorse. Yikes. Nightwing's next order of business is to see Detective Nye, because he's the one under suspicion of trying to frame our hero in the Strayhorn brothers' murder via a planted Eskrima stick. Spoiler, he did not. This all gets expanded on more when Nye is called to a meeting with Commish Gordon and Deputy Mayor Kavanaugh, telling him any Nightwing cases will now be looked after by Detective Carlos Alvarez, who was a main character in Catwoman's title. Travis is very pissed to hear this and goes on to say he was in a homosexual relationship with one of the two cops that Psycho killed in issue number 1 of this series, and because that villain's beef was with Nightwing, he is blamed for it partially. The guy hates the Bat family, pretty cut and dry. During that sit-down, Dick was seen in the Batcave using the computer, and seeing that current Robin Damian Wayne is still gonna kick his ass when he's not expecting it. A little something from Batman and Robin Vol.2. More important though, some crucial realizations are made about the Strayhorns and Paragon, who is seen on the last page, paying Travis a visit in his apartment. There was also a second interaction with Sonia and Grayson, with him being told his proposal for Amusement Mile was denied, so he kind of yells at her saying some rather mean things, even though she voted yes and was overruled. Ooh, dick move, Dick. Issue number 12 starts with Nightwing making his way into a sewer drainage system where, deeper inside, a collection of Gotham cops are investigating the over half-dozen Republic of Tomorrow members killed by Paragon. Nye is also there and is pulled away by Nightwing, who quickly gets told that Travis was tipped off to all of this by the book's big villain, with the reason being to lure out Grayson to this spot so his foe can pop out and cause a bunch of damage to block off just the two of them. Lucky the whole ceiling didn't come down, but alright. All of the cops are pretty much trapped, except Nye does spot a small hole, so he tries to escape while the answer to the Eskrima stick Strayhorn Bros mystery is given. It again takes us back to Volume 1 in issue number 2 at the tail end of Nightwing's first fight with Psycho, when that villain blew up a car with 3 people in it so he could escape as Dick saved them. The two in the front were the Strayhorns, and after getting saved, they quit the Republic of Tomorrow in admiration for their savior, so their tats weren't brands at all. They were the removed tat logos of their former gang. Obviously, Paragon couldn't allow this, and since he was the third guy in the car, he snatched Nightwing's Eskrima stick that had to be left behind after the rescue, and proceeded to kill the Strayhorns with it in order to attempt the setup of Gotham's current #2 hero. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, the fight continues here with a look at Paragon's face but no name reveal, and Nightwing having to force things outside thanks to washing his foe out through a emptying tunnel. You both for sure just washed out under some raw sewage, and both of you have open wounds. Not ideal. Their battle winds up stopping here as Travis made it out and brought a slew of cops together to arrest Paragon, who doesn't seem to want to go down, that is until Nightwing disarms him before a retaliation move is made, and then Nye allows Dick to take off when Paragon surrenders. Before the last scene, the Penguin, Oswald Cobblepot, makes a first appearance in this series, telling fellow crime leader Mr. Combustible that he is shutting down the Iceberg Casino and skipping town because Major League villain Lady Shiva is coming. Considering Penguin is seen a lot in all the other Bat Family books in other Volume 3s, I'm not sure about this. Lastly, Dick is over at his place telling Lucius Fox that he's willing to invest an entire trust fund he has for Amusement Mile, which he later tells Sonia about, basically making them partners because her bank went forward with his offer. So she slips him a kiss, and I'm sorry. I know she's an attractive businesswoman, but this is so uncomfortable. Volume 2s are mostly where the New 52 Zero issues were found, with some being good while others were more damaging to their title's timeline. Nightwings takes place a handful of years ago with him and his old circus buddy Raymond, aka Future Psycho, and they get caught trespassing in some train yards, which results in Dick getting in big trouble. He gets grounded by his parents, John and Mary Grayson. Since this day is also Mary's birthday, she is given a present before their next Haley Circus Acrobat Trapeze show. Sorry for nearly getting a guy killed while free running on locomotives, Mom, but here's a bracelet with some robins on it, otherwise known as foreshadowing. It also appears that Mary died on her birthday because this is the night Tony Zuko murdered them in a shakedown on Haley's Gone Bad, and with Bruce Wayne in the audience, he agrees to help Dick with Gordon due to their similar circumstances. With Batman being pretty new to the scene as well, he apparently hasn't figured out how to control his minor expressions and mannerisms, as it takes Dick one encounter with him to realize he's Bruce Wayne as well, thanks to living under his care and beginning his own crusade of justice against Tony. His future mentor picks up on the fact that Grayson is very talented and astute, not willing to stop going after Tony, so Batman brings him to the cave where the not-so-secret ID is revealed, and from then on, Dick began his training to be the first Robin, with reluctance from Alfred. At least he said something. After months of learning, Dick is still on monitor duty until one night Batman walked into a pretty big trap, so he throws on his cobbled-together suit and hits the street to fight against the one and only Lady Shiva. This is when he announces his nom de guerre to be Robin, but doesn't even land a single hit before Lady S disappears. Of course, Batman isn't the happiest with these last words, basically saying that the Robin thing was temporary and Nightwing will be here soon because of how quick the New 52 moved. Batman still has like 4 more proteges to prepare in barely 5 years. Alright. As the plot went, this was another well-conceived addition for Nightwing's New 52 run. He overcame a major obstacle with his Court of the Owl's fate, defeated his second big foe in Paragon, and the introduction of Detective Nye was a good subplot. It added to the many cops throughout the Bat Family titles, but Sonya Zuko also being introduced as well, that was the best part of this, no question. The dialogue stayed respectable. There were some great moments with William Cobb's story of growing up in early 1900s Gotham. Dick's internal narration remained witty and likable, while his interaction in issue number 0 with Alfred was a standout due to regarding it being how Bruce and him deal with their parents' death, showing how they're similar in some ways, yet very different in others. Rounding out with the art, there were multiple teams working on it, so Grayson looks a little different each time around, but the enjoyable core aspects were present. Nightwing's fluid acrobatics, harrowing fight scenes, and more corners of Gotham City to be discovered. That's going to do it for this review, and if you've watched until the end here, I want to personally thank you for that, and to please like, share, and subscribe. Please follow me on all my social media platforms, and to please join me next time for Batgirl Volume 2.